Hi, welcome in. My name's Hamish Taylor, and this is a longer video introducing myself as part of this initial series on my YouTube channel. It's in response to some requests from patients who've said, just tell us a little bit more about yourself, and then we can listen to that before we come along. And it's just an introduction to how did I get here in a slightly longer format. I'm not expecting you to like this video or in any way engage with it. And obviously, if you've got anything to say, then fantastic, but probably better listen to as a podcast. And then you can get an idea of whether you think I'm worth contacting to see if you want to employ me to help you on your improved health journey and doing things differently to perhaps what you've been doing before. So I started my whole career back in 1993 when I started my degree in psychology, where I specialized in health. And that was a fascinating 3 years of my life as an undergraduate, learning about some of the foundations in the psychological processes of human beings, which obviously provides a great basis for understanding where we've come from and why we often behave the way we do. I got very interested at that early stage in my career in physical medicine. I was in a very physical role at the time when I was involved with the Royal Marines, and making sure that you were physically absolutely at the top of your game was clearly a very important part of that stage in my life. So after I finished my degree in psychology, I very quickly went on to do some diplomas in sports massage therapy, therapeutic massage, reflexology, and a few other physical elements. So really basing myself on this physical form. And there were lots of different reasons behind the scenes why that all came about. One of them was that I had quite a significant accident, and the person who helped me get better, helped to really properly rehabilitate me, she gave me some awesome advice, and I would certainly pass this on to anyone interested in getting into this business, is first learn how to massage. Massage professionally, therapeutically, learn how to professionally touch someone in a therapeutic way, and don't dabble. Those are the two bits of advice that she gave me as an osteopath many years ago now, and that really set me on the path to optimize my initial training. I then went and worked in the super yacht industry for quite a while, and again exposing me to a vast number of different people, different expectations as to their health, and obviously some very hard-working sailors as well who were using their bodies pretty brutally at the time. Once I had extricated myself from the super yacht industry and found that I was really wanting to learn more, I had been involved in nutrition in a lot of conversations as a result of my physical therapy introduction, and that led me to do another degree in 2000 at Queen Margaret's University, and I started a degree in dietetics. I very quickly realized that feeding hospitalized patients hospital food was not the way to get them better, and I moved quickly into transferring my degree to a nutrition degree. It was an awesome course. It was the only degree course in the UK at the time that had excellence for all its modules, and I was absolutely lapping up the information. Had some amazing tutors who I have fond memories of, and they inspired me greatly on this path. That introduced me to the deep biochemistry of the body, and that has been a main focus, main foundation of everything that I've done since. With my degree in nutrition, and I'm rightly proud that I got a distinction in that, I moved on continuing to practice in physical therapy, and my wife and I moved abroad to New Zealand, where I then practiced, having trained alongside my degree in colon hydrotherapy, and a lot more about that in another video, but hugely misunderstood by many, totally understood by some, and a very important toolbox as part of a wider therapeutic workshop. But we'll do something about colonic hydrotherapy in probably a number of other videos in due course. But set up my practice in New Zealand, and that's where I really established myself as a naturopath. New Zealand, Australia have a very good relationship with the concept and practice of naturopathy, and their whole healthcare system is similar but significantly different. And I worked alongside some brilliant people there which helped me really solidify my psychology and my nutrition. And obviously working in gut health, that was pretty obvious links with the gut and the psychology. Should be mentioned that when I did my degree in human nutrition, I specialized in mental health, specializing in schizophrenia, depression, anxiety disorders, and I was standing very much on the shoulders of some giants in the industry who took me under their wing and really helped me understand the link between psychology and nutrition. And believe it or not, back in 2000, it was still not well understood. It was not well accepted that your nutrition had anything to do with your psychological health, which of course is become a little bit less of a problem now, but very much a challenge at the time. I wrote my dissertation on antidepressants and essential fats, and it's particularly pentanoic acid, which is one of the omega-3 family, and how it can help with depression and anxiety in relation to the selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. Anyway, that was a very formative time of my training. So that was my second degree in the bag. And I went off to, as I say, work in New Zealand, and I was exposed to a lot of brilliant physical therapists there, chiropractors, osteopaths in particular, and some physiotherapists. And I was working closely alongside them, referring lots of patients for osteopathic treatment. And it dawned on me that to complete this, what I would consider essential trilogy of health, I needed to do a physical therapy degree, not just my massage, my sports massage or therapeutic massage, but take this to a whole nother level. So I looked around and found various degrees, both in Australia, New Zealand, and here in the UK, in osteopathy, chiropractics, and physiotherapy. And having been accepted onto a number of courses, I did eventually and reasonably obviously choose osteopathy, because for me it is the absolute naturopathic fit for physical therapy in a naturopathic mindset. The osteopathy really considers the whole body and its biomechanics, how the whole body works through lots of different lifespan systems, through different stresses that we put through the body. And this really completed my base knowledge. When I was doing my degree in osteopathy, people were often asking me, why are you doing a different degree? Why are you changing your career? Why are you doing something completely different? And it was an obvious question to ask, but it missed a fundamental point, that I wanted to have decent knowledge, really good degree level knowledge of the biochemistry, the biomechanics, and the psychology of the human being. And I have not been an osteopath or a psychologist or a nutritionist ever since. I have always been a naturopath and functional medicine specialist, combining all three of these in every appointment. I cannot be one without being the other. And that is what I am immensely proud of. And I'm allowed to be proud of this. I did get a first class honours in my osteopathic degree, and that was not a small undertaking given the amount of learning that we had to do. So then I started setting up the Plymouth Naturopathic Clinic here in Plymouth, the UK in 2013. I've been working in other people's practices for some time, but the time was right for me to set up this practice and really bring together what I had learnt in all of those times. Now, somewhat obviously, I can't base my career just on 3 degrees, but I've done a huge amount of continuing professional development, and we do that every month with some brilliant providers and always keeping me at the top of my game. And it's one of the things that often happens if a patient hasn't seen me for 3 or 4 years and they come back and say, Hamish, I need to get back in touch with you. Things haven't gone quite as well, or I need to check in with you. It's fantastic because I've learned a whole lot more in that time. And this space is moving forwards really quickly. There's a very powerful zeitgeist, if you like, of underswell of knowledge where people are really learning about how important it is to get their body and their brain and their biomechanics really, really well, getting the biochemistry sorted. So bringing all these 3 things together is vital. I mentioned in my previous video that I might not be the best osteopath or the best nutritionist or the best psychologist, and I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a counsellor, but I may be one of the better people to bring it all together in a non-neurotic, functional, easy to achieve, enjoyable journey towards better health. So this introductory video is a little bit more detailed about how I work. And it really is about understanding whatever the patient's needs are. If they come for me for osteopathy, then we're definitely going to be looking at the biochemistry. The muscles and the ligaments, the tendons, the joints can't work well without the right biochemistry. And if I'm seeing someone from a psychological point of view, their mental health isn't very good, what's their posture like? Are they getting headaches? Are they in pain? This has a huge impact on your psychological health. And obviously, if I'm seeing someone with their gut not working right, they've got digestive disorders, this has a huge impact on their psychological health. And certainly if they've got chronic constipation or something like that, have a massive impact on their posture, which then has an impact on their psychology health. And this all wraps up together. So I hope that serves as an understanding of where I'm coming from. And I hope that helps to answer a few very brief introductory questions about essentially the biomechanics, the biochemistry, and the psychology, and why all three of those are so vital for your health. You can't have one or two working well. If one is pulling you down, it will pull all three of them down. We're going to go into a lot more detail about those individual elements in due course. I certainly want to spend some time discussing the biochemistry of muscle function, for example. Certainly want to discuss the biochemistry of gut function and how digesting your food is so important for mental health, and also making sure that your muscles are working well, your joints are working well, and that your posture is able to be sustainable within a tough working environment for many of us. So I am no different. I need to work on my health every day on those three tenets. I make plenty of mistakes. I'm a human being as well. It's incredibly important that you work with your practitioner as a team member, not putting your practitioner on any kind of pedestal, and certainly please don't do that for me. But I have been working in this field for a long time, and I really enjoy working with individuals to try and optimize themselves as part of a team process. They will always know their lifestyle, their bodies, their scenarios better than I will, but it's about giving them solid foundational pointers, getting some good foundations in place so they can build their lives in a better way from there. So I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, then please ask questions, and don't hesitate to get in touch with the clinic if you wish to ask some more personal questions about whether I'm the right person for you. And I hope that concludes a slightly longer introduction, and we don't need to make any more of these videos about me. It's all about your health and the challenges that are out there, and the solutions and the causes that we can work with and find and provide better insight into how to make you a much more sustainable, enjoyably health enjoying individual. I hope that's helpful. We'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.